The psychedelic revolution is here. If you want to integrate your visionary experiences into your purpose, get clear on your entrepreneurial path, and help people while you do what you love, then this podcast is for you. Welcome to The Psychedelic Entrepreneur, Medicine for These Times. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a spiritual business coach, 3-time entrepreneur, and a lifelong student of psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. You carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times. This podcast will help you to share your medicine so you can create transformation in the world. Listen in on conversations with psychedelic leaders, changemakers, and conscious entrepreneurs who are living proof that a better world is possible when you follow your heart and live in alignment with your soul. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we begin, just a quick reminder, please leave a review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. I would greatly appreciate it. That way, this message and the message from this podcast will get out to more people, especially at this wild time in human history when people need to hear this more than ever. I greatly appreciate it. Today, I am going to be talking about intuition versus strategy in your business, whether you are a coach, a healer, a psychedelic pioneer, a therapist, whatever you're doing in this realm of solopreneurship, soulpreneurship, not just solo, but soul-based work. And when I say soul-based work, I really mean this heart-centered human-to-human work that you and many of the listeners are doing or want to be doing. Coaching, healing, psychedelic-assisted work, psychedelic integration work, therapy, and other similar forms of what I call transformational businesses. So here's something that I've been wanting to talk about a lot recently that's come up so much in my reality. And of course, everything in my reality is a mirror for what's going on inside me. So something I've noticed with my clients, a lot of my clients are about halfway through my True Path Entrepreneur Group Mastermind program. It is a 12-month program, and some people join a little earlier and some a little later, but we're kind of at the halfway point or past the halfway point. Here we are in the fall and the late fall. And what I've noticed is at the very beginning, when you enter into this program, I'm there giving you strategies and steps. So my mastermind program is designed to get you clients in your new business or your business as quick as possible. And this is done through a very simple yet effective, very earth-grounded based strategic way of learning how to start and grow your business and start getting clients in your business. And this is what I would call very masculine, action-oriented steps that get you results. But as everything I teach, I do also believe that you need not only the steps, not only the effective strategies, not only to learn the art form of how to grow your business in today's world. There is a reality to this world and how to get your work out there to more people. And then I also bring in this very feminine aspect of tuning into your intuition and tuning into what it is that's coming through you, what you really want, what is calling you the most, what is lighting up your soul, what gets you excited, and really doing work from this place of inspired action. I'm sure you've heard this before, but I really mean it. This is not a cliche. It's literally coming from this place of, okay, what is inspiring me? And then how do I go act on it? And what I found is over the years, if people are too much in one versus the other, meaning too much in the steps and the doing versus too much in the intuition and the feeling realm of the feminine, tuning into what's coming through you. When you're not in this balance, like everything in life, if you're off balance, you don't create this harmony where you take both the actions and the intuition and co-create to form something that is real, meaning money or clients or opportunities or creations in your business. So you actually do need to have both. You can't just be all action oriented and not paying attention to what your heart is calling you or what creative ideas are coming through, or what your intuition is telling you. What we, all of us, especially me being a coach for many, many years, what we've seen in the world for so long is this very masculine way of doing business, which is just constantly pushing and going and, action after action. It's the very kind of, and I came from this background, the kind of corporate grind of production. Like, you must keep doing, you must keep producing, you have to get results. You have to work really, really hard. And if you're not, constantly producing some kind of result, it's not good. Again, this is this one world that has unfortunately been dominating our systems, especially here in the Western world, for a very long time. And then there's this very feminine way, right? Which is like, let me just tune in and like feel into what I want and like sit on it and meditate on it. And what I've seen over the years is when I hear people saying this, like, oh, I just need to feel what I want. What I've seen is if they're just feeling and they're not actually taking action, what happens is people tend to get stuck. And I've seen this actually with a lot of people in this spiritual realm. And I do help a lot of people on a spiritual path, on the plant medicine and psychedelic path, who are just so much into their daily practice and their meditation and I get it because I have all these, but into like feeling into intuition and like, here's a new one that's come up the last few years because now people are realizing how it works and that this is very real, but like feeling into my body. And I get it. Like, I encourage my clients to really feel into their body. Like, where is this living in your body? Yes, you have to feel it. You have to like be in tune, but at the same time, you can't just be sitting there feeling in your body and meditating on your business for a year and a half or 2 years or 3 years, because the co-creation of creating results and forget the word results. Let's say creating new clients, creating opportunities, creating speaking on podcasts, creating a new offering, creating a program that people want, creating, a website or a social media account, or creating your brand out there in the world, creating yourself as an expert. Like, this act of creation, which, by the way, if you look at nature, this is creation 101. It does take both, these actions, this action-oriented Shiva energy, right? It's like the masculine energy of doing, along with the feeling and the meditation and the listening to the body and, being in tune with what's lighting you up the most. And it's funny because I run into this every year where, my clients join my mastermind. They're like, give me all the steps, like, just teach me the steps. Give me the magic pill. It's funny. It's a very Western way of working. And I, unfortunately, it's just part of our system. I do believe it's changing, but, a lot of us, when I say us, I mean, I was there once myself too. A lot of humans have been programmed to believe that the answers lie in the magic pill, meaning like, what is the strategy that works the most? What are the steps that are going to give me clients? What are the tricks? Like, I've literally had people say, Beth, what tricks do you teach that will give me clients so I can make over 100,000 a year? And I'm like, tricks? Really? Go to a different business coach because it's not about the tricks. Someone actually just said this, I think in my free Psychedelics, Sacred Medicines and Purpose Facebook group. Someone said this recently, like, well, how do I get more clients? Like, what are the ways? Like, what's the magic key? And then someone else said it on a workshop I was attending recently. And I was like, it's just interesting to see there's so many people just want this quick fix answer. And here's the thing, it does take steps. It does take strategies. There are actually ways to do marketing effectively, and there's ways to do marketing where it actually is not effective. That is what I actually call an art form. It's an art. It's not learning some formula. It is quite literally an art that involves being in tune with this feminine side of your intuition and the masculine side of, okay, well, what strategic pieces of what it is you want to say or put out there is going to actually work better. But you can't just have some formula, because then it becomes like this generic, soulless marketing that you put out there in the world and it doesn't connect. And this is the key to everything I teach inside of my mastermind program. And I find it really interesting. What I've witnessed for years after running this program many years is that my clients start with this place of like, just give me the steps and the formulas and what should I do? What should I be doing? And I teach it to them. But then I bring in all this other work, which is like, I bring in somatic therapy modalities. I bring in this really high level evolutionary astrology, metaphysical art process. I bring in voice alchemy. I bring in, which is also a somatic practice, like these different embodiment practices. I bring in a lot of deep shadow work, mindset mastery, and subconscious reprogramming. Like these are all these other things, these other, realms that do affect your business. Meaning if you have some kind of quote block, whether you believe in blocks or not, but an energetic block, core wound that is running behind the scenes, some limiting belief that you're not even aware of, like your subconscious is running the show and you might not even be aware of it. Really tuning into your own human design. It's this astrology work that we do, meaning I send you to a good friend of mine who I've been working with many years. It is beyond normal astrology. It's not normal astrology. It's a channeled version of evolutionary astrology, and it also integrates the art of applied metaphysics. And then really working with your energy patterns and your ways of being, because every human is different. There is no one way, and that's why there is no one magic pill. We are all essentially different archetypes. And when you really tune in to your unique, a lot of people throw this around like blueprint, but like quite literally, it's like your DNA, your soul blueprint. And when you are tapped into your soul and you learn the art of this effective, strategic, 3D, earthly marketing, sales, how to price, create, and package your program, the very tangible earthly, when I say earthly, it's like this tangible plane of business. When you learn that art form, along with all these other modalities, like bringing your unconscious conscious, really understanding the wounds that are running your show, the limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of allowing in money and clients, which I see all the time. I see this all the time, is that when you have beliefs running behind the scenes, all the marketing in the world is not going to make your business. You have to go well beyond that. And that's where I bring this into my group mastermind program. And so what I've seen over the years is after these 6-7 months of being in my program, my clients start to learn, oh, I see. It's about bringing the steps in and tapping into my deeper level soul, authentic way of being in the world. This is the embodied business. And then what I've noticed is my clients are even better able to tap into their intuition and know, how do you really want to run your business? Like taking the art of effective earth-based strategies and tuning into the way you want to do things, your own authentic path. This is why my business coaching program is called True Path Entrepreneur, because it can only be your true path. You are one of 8 billion humans incarnated on this planet at this time. I do believe that each and every one of us has this kind of, soul imprint, blueprint, whatever we want to call it, that is designed to be here at this time. Meaning, like, why are you incarnated here? It does not mean that you necessarily have to be the next biggest, world-renowned healer out there, or the most famous psychedelic entrepreneur, or, that you need to have 500,000 people in your audience in order to build a business. It does not mean that. And by the way, it doesn't even mean you need a business. You could be living your soul's blueprint by making art and raising a family. Or maybe you're living your soul's blueprint by working at your job. Like there's nothing wrong with any of this. But I do believe your soul is calling you in some way. If you feel this misalignment, meaning like you can feel it in your body and your heart that like you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, you don't have that sense of meaning and purpose in your life when it comes to what you do for work, meaning like, hey, like we have work in the world. If you don't feel that alignment, yeah, then maybe it's time to explore something else. But what I found is that when my clients are able to get to that point to really tune into what lights them up, what makes them angry, what do they want to see change, what are they here to do, what is their unique, authentic path of being of service, because all my clients that join my mastermind are mostly called to a path of service. So when you tap into this deeper level place of like, okay, well, what is your path of service and how is it you? It's not about being different. It's not about choosing something that's different so that you stand out. It is about tapping into you and your authentic truth, like your sovereign pillar of light. I actually talk about this a lot. Really knowing like what do you want the most? Like what would make you the happiest? And I bring this into a lot of my programs and also a lot of my free workshops, which by the way, I have a free workshop coming up. Be sure to register. You can join my email list to hear about it. I'm doing a lot of free workshops right now. But there's this golden triangle, which is you being served, your ideal clients being served, and then your greater mission in the world. And they're all in balance into this perfect triangle where it needs to start with you. What lights you up? What's going to get you out of bed in the morning? What is going to have you be inspired to want to share about what lights you up? And when you start to tap into this deeper place of your intuition and knowing like, hey, this is how I'm going to run my business, along with all those strategies that Beth taught us. And that's when I start to see my clients getting real magical results. One of my clients actually just went through this recently, and I actually, thankfully, I'm able to see it now after just witnessing this for so many years. When my clients start to get almost to this point of frustration or wanting to quit or getting like something's off, something doesn't feel authentic. When they get to that place and they really tune into what it is that they want, like what is it that's not 100% there? Like what is it that you want most? And how do you want to share it out there? And what are your beliefs behind the scenes about it? And really bringing in that depths of, the darkness, the anger, the frustration, and bringing it to the surface, because you can't just be pushing it away. If you're upset about something in your business or you don't like the way, so one of my clients like quite literally was like, Beth, I appreciate you teaching us that, but I don't like it for my business. I was like, great, this is perfect because you need to go do it your way. Here's how I teach it. This is what worked for me. This is what worked for a lot of my clients. This is what I've been taught over the years, and it's worked for me. But me and you have different soul blueprints. Me and you are here to do totally different things on planet Earth. So yes, I teach you the effectiveness, and then the key is you get to go make it your own. And that's where the divine abundance is located, because it is not about following some formulaic, heartless, soulless strategy and like manipulating people until it works, which by the way, I'm happy to introduce you to those business coaches out there that do that. There are many of them. That is not my style. It is not the way of the new paradigm, and is definitely not the way for medicine folk and spiritual people, in my personal opinion, to be running their businesses. Because when you are serving, in the psychedelic realm, in the spiritual realm, in this deep trauma healing, transformational, life-changing, profound realm of doing the deep work, like most of my clients are, then you can't just use some cheesy formula that worked 15 years ago with some bro. This has to be in full alignment with your heart and your soul. A lot of this work is pure energetics. And if you can tune into the energetics and have the effectiveness of the grounded 3D, strategic ways that truly work, That is where in the middle of this triangle is the divine abundance. And when I say divine abundance, I don't know if this is a thing. It just came to me. I'm sure other people use this term too. But I say this is where like the quote magic starts to happen, where I've seen clients just get clients out of the blue, or things just flow really easily, or out of nowhere some money comes along. Remember, money doesn't necessarily come from working our clients. It's like it comes from anywhere. And I've seen this year after year after year. Like clients go through this portal of like transformation and death, and kind of like this like little ego deaths in our business, like going into an initiation of like shit getting shaken to the surface, and stuff hitting the fan, and them getting angry, and them even wanting to quit or wanting to quit my program. I always say when people want to quit my program, if they're able to be conscious enough and ego aware enough to know like, oh, I'm just going through a really hard time and it's challenging. If they can get through what I call that the dip, if they can get through that dip and just be in that fire, it's like the very Kali energy of like, burn it to the ground. Remember when Kali burns the world to the ground, when there's this ultimate destruction, or when there's a forest fire, which everyone thinks is so bad. When there's a forest fire, what happens is the whole entire forest grows again. It's like this new life is formed. And this is the same thing I've seen with clients when they step into that dip of initiation and they come out the other side. They're more authentically themselves. They're more in their truth. They're more aware of what it is that they want, what they want to be doing. They have more clarity. They knew who they're here to serve. And then they take all those steps that I've already taught them, in addition to tapping into their soul's intuition and what's coming through them and following that path of the golden nuggets of joy. What happens is then the divine abundance. Things get easy, things get fun. They start to manifest things that are totally unrelated to business. I've seen dream homes, partners, like moving, opportunities, being asked to go do something, being asked to speak on stage, podcasts, collaborations, like beautiful. I've had clients get pulled into like, hey, I've been asked to be in these training programs and be a teacher. I mean, it's like one thing after another, and it's all interconnected. Because this kind of soul level business cannot be separated from quote life. It is you. That's it. You're just here to be you and learn the steps to make it into a successful business that actually supports you. Because yes, there are 3D tangible steps that are the correct steps, learning the art form of making what's coming through you effective in today's world. So anyways, that is what I wanted to talk about. I could talk about this forever and ever and ever, because it's become so much a part of my own entrepreneurial journey that I know it's not just the marketing. It's not just learning how to grow your audience and putting yourself out there as an expert and learning the art form of effective communication, messaging, and marketing and sales. But it's also this deeper level embodiment of who you truly are in your most authentic soul self, and being that pillar of light in the world. And when you come into these the place of both that masculine and that feminine, of your pillar of light, your authentic truth in the world, and these tangible steps, the divine abundance is a magical place. And I can tell you right now, I could not be any more grateful to have learned this, to know that this is the way. It's also the way the world is going. I think more and more people are waking up and realizing that, the last, whatever it is, hundreds or thousands of years of this like very masculine oriented, way of doing business and the Industrial Revolution is kind of dying out. I shouldn't say kind of, it just is, because it doesn't serve humanity. It doesn't serve the earth. Obviously I could talk about this forever. It's all interconnected to the extraction processes, the pollution, everything going on the planet that is misaligned is from the imbalance of this energy. And we are now in the times of bringing this into balance. And that is exactly what you will do inside of my group coaching or private coaching programs. Anyways, Thank you so much for being here. Again, please leave a review if you enjoyed this or any of the episodes. I greatly appreciate you. And thank you for sharing your unique medicine. The world needs your medicine more than ever. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're feeling inspired, I'd appreciate it if you showed your love with a review. And check out my YouTube channel where you can find the video version of this podcast. You can also head to bethaweinstein.com to learn more about me and grab my free business growth trainings. Remember, you carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times.